Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have the first video in like months on my channel. So sorry about that, but I am now in week 3 of my Nike internship, and if you're wondering where have this day in the life been, what the heck, I know I promised a lot of stuff. So it's very difficult to film because everything is proprietary information. I am personally on an internal team too, so I could never even talk about what I'm doing because the things that I work on will never even be released to the public. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Okay, so I will put up a picture of like the resume format that I followed, and let's just get right into it. So at the top you can see that I have my name, my phone number, email, and my LinkedIn. Some people do put their address at the top of their resume, and to kind of show a company like you don't have to relocate me, like I'm from the state or city that the company is in. So that's also another option. I only chose not to do it just because I ran out of space on my resume, and I was like, okay, something's gotta go. Okay, then in my resume I have an education section right underneath my name, so I felt this was most important to show them what school I go to. And the most important thing that you need on your resume is your start date and expected graduation date. And you need that expected graduation date because companies will have pretty strict rules about we only want to hire juniors, or we want to make sure you have like one more year left in school, because in the internship program they're going to mold you into the kind of employee that they want. You know, they're at the end of the day they gave you an internship in the hopes to get you a full-time position. So they want to have someone who's kind of lined up and ready to go. So if you are a freshman and sophomore, still apply. That's my honest opinion, like still apply. But you may be rejected just because of their strict requirements. But if you do fall in those strict requirements, you want to have it on your resume. So recruiters go through resumes so incredibly fast. So you want to make sure that you have that expected end date on your resume. So when they're flipping through them, they can see that and they can put you in the pile of like, yes, we can consider this applicant. So for me, I'm a 4+1 student, so I did technically graduate my undergrad June 2021, but I'm not going to be done with my entire school career until June 2022. So I put June 2022, and I also stated that I was an accelerated master's student. And so that's kind of what let them know, like, okay, she has one more year. Also in the education section, I have my major and my GPA. GPA is kind of controversial. Some people put it, some people don't. It also depends on the requirement of the company that you're applying to. I put mine down only because it was the same resume that I was sending out to like a bunch of different companies at the time, and I didn't really want to like remove it just based off of their requirements. It was above a 3.0 at the time. I cannot really remember, but not the highest if you think about it. There are some 4.0 students out there, but also if you don't have a 3.0 and you don't meet their GPA requirements, I say still apply. Like, you never know what could happen. And then I have my coding languages right underneath all of that, from most proficient to least proficient. Okay, so the next section is professional experience, and this can be any professional experience. I know on my little diagram I said like anything that's relevant, but if you are just starting out, maybe freshman, sophomore, and you're worried that you don't have a lot of experience, or like me, like I really didn't have that much professional experience and I was a senior when I was applying. So I literally list out anything that you can think of, any paid positions where you were demonstrating leadership skills at all. So it could be retail or in the food industry. They actually like to see that sometimes because it can show that you are personable and that you can speak with people. I put down my TA experience. Of course that was relevant, but it was kind of my only big piece of relevant experience that actually got me the internship. But if you have any internships from before or any unpaid work too, like unpaid internships, you could list that down. Anything that shows your professional experience. So the next section is leadership and activities. So this is clubs, mentorship programs, volunteer experience. Don't worry if your leadership and activities section is not that big. There's always time to improve it, because it's never too late to join a club or find a mentorship program on campus, or any just like extracurricular activity. I didn't really get involved in extracurriculars until my end of sophomore year, junior and senior. But when I did get involved, I made sure to get on the board of a few clubs that I really loved and wanted to focus my time in. I have heard that it's kind of better to be on the board of clubs and have a few clubs on your resume rather than be a part of a bunch of clubs and just be like an active member in those clubs. But in my opinion, anything works. If you don't have the time to be on the board of a club, then just join a bunch and then go to what you can and list whatever you want on your resume. Also in leadership and activities, if you have any awards, I would also like add that into the title and then list them there. I didn't, but if you do, that would probably be a good place to put it. So the next section that I want to talk about is the project section, and this is pretty big. So I didn't have that many personal projects when I applied to Nike, but after talking to a lot of people, this is what companies love to see. They love to see your individuality because it also lets them know, okay, you did this personal project outside of school time. You must, you know, like this material, and you might be interested in this specific area. So they like seeing that you can work outside of school, work outside of what's assigned to you. Don't worry if you don't have a ton of personal projects. Like I said with leadership and activities, it's never too late to start this section. You can always, like, you know, for 30 minutes a night, work on a personal project for like a week. It can be super small or it can be like really lengthy. As long as you're doing something outside of your school time, you know, that's going to show an employer that you're a driven individual. So do not worry. Lastly, I have relevant links at the bottom. I use my social media in kind of like a professional manner. So I linked my coding tutorials and my GitHub. I think relevant links are a great kind of filler at the bottom because there's usually not that much space to put a whole new section in, but you kind of want to still give them some more information about yourself. So relevant links is a great thing to put at the bottom. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.